morning. Good Friday morning. It's good to see you guys. Kirsten Liebelt. Yes, so coming in a little hot, a little later than usual. I know. We were at the chiropractor this morning, so we had to try out. Has anybody tried out? First of all, if you're on the replay, let me know you're on the replay. And where you're coming in from, I always love to know that. Has anybody tried out an infrared bed? I would love to know if anybody else has done that. So we were at the chiropractor this morning, and my husband and and I love being proactive in that arena because, you want your body to keep functioning. Like that's a goal. I feel like I have to fix this. So hold on. Sorry. That's weird. Okay. So anyway, and so they just started like some new therapies, and one of them is an infrared bed. And I'm like, that is super interesting. And so my husband did it today for the first time because it's supposed to like decrease. Oh, I wish I had taken a picture actually, and I posted it in my stories. Hold on. I'm trying to change that in my stories. And it says all of the benefits of it. Like it reduces inflammation. It helps with all sorts of things like hormonal stuff. And anyway, I was just really like intrigued with it. And so he's doing it to try to reduce some inflammation like in his shoulders and stuff. So I would love to know if anybody's tried it. And if you have, like, what do you think about it? I would like to know because we're going to go on that journey and see how that helps him or doesn't help him. So it's the weekend, you guys. Are you excited? Are you happy to go and like just do something other than your normal routine? I think everybody loves a good weekend, right? And it's summertime. I'm in Minnesota, if you don't know that. And so summer in Minnesota is just like golden. Like we have amazing weather for a few months and then it may not last forever, but that's okay. We do like our fall as well. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Kirsten Liebelt, and basically I help insulin resistant women turn back so that they can lose weight and like lose sizes. Like that's where I started my journey with my entire life has been insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. My dad was insulin dependent, and I'm Italian. And so I feel like if I can do this, freaking anybody can do this. Like everybody should have hope just because I could do this. So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So happy Friday. But I got this really, really cool testimony again this morning. So, and I thought, oh, I'm totally going to talk about this. So for TikTok, I don't have a subject line on there for you guys, but I'm going to talk about the connection between becoming more insulin sensitive and why it would potentially bring on hot flashes. And you do not have to be in perimenopause or menopause for this to be of an interesting conversation, because the truth is that this entire conversation in its fullness is hormonal. So girls, listen up. Don't be so hard on yourselves, because the information that has been given to us has not been a hormonal conversation. So therefore we have the wrong lens that we're looking through weight loss through if we're insulin resistant. And so that hamster wheel, what if your hamster wheel was able to go away? What if you were able to literally step off of the hamster wheel, stop telling yourself that you are, and maybe you're not this harsh on yourself, but don't tell yourself you're such a loser. You don't have any discipline. You're never going to be able to do this anyway. Like, why do you think that you are ever going to be able to figure out a routine or, whatever, blah, blah. How many times have you tried? How many Mondays have you, shot towards and you've missed that mark? And, like it's been decades. You'll never lose a pound. All of this negative self-talk because of maybe our own processes that we've gone through, and we've tried a lot of different things. So today, wipe that all clean. Let's have a hormonal conversation. When you are insulin resistant, and even if you're not, the truth is that obesity or being overweight, it's a hormonal conversation. It's not a calorie in, calorie out conversation. Do calories play a part? I always say, of course they do, but it's one teeny tiny factor in a multifaceted diamond, a shape where it has many different pieces to it. But hormones play a big part Number one, because insulin is a hormone. And number two, because cortisol is a hormone. Do I need to say any more? No, I don't. Okay, let's go for this though. So I want to jump into it. This is the testimony that I got this morning. And I thought, oh, I love this. So if you don't know anything about my content, what you do need to know is that I talk a lot about not just insulin resistance, but how I started my journey. So never having been a person that takes supplements, I did. And Brenda, good morning. And they were very targeted towards this conversation. And when they worked, I had to figure out why they worked. So if you ever need to know any information about the trio, which are the 3 supplements that have 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity, reach out to me and I will let you know exactly what I'm talking about. And you can find me on all of my different pages. I found out on TikTok, I have to be very careful about things that I'm saying. I'm getting dinged on TikTok and I don't know what I'm saying. So I have to be careful. So people on TikTok, because it's so challenging over there, if you click my face up here and then you click my face again, that comes up here. The secret is that you can go to I think I can say the word page. You can go to my page and there are ways to contact me. That's all I'm going to say. And just ask me about this. So I'm just you got your trio, Brenda. Yay. Okay, good. Well, I'm just going to read a testimony here. I don't usually always do this right away, but this is the topic of my conversation today. So she says to me, I asked, how are you feeling? How are you doing? And she says, and I think she might be 2 weeks in. Okay. Definitely noticed reduced appetite, more energy, and less sugar cravings. One thing I have noticed is I might be having hot flashes again. Is this normal? Thank you for keeping in touch with me through this journey. I appreciate it. Okay. So I'm a geek. I talk about this all the time. I love to find what is the connection, right? Why is this a connection? So this is what we're going to chat about. The reason why is because, hold on, I'm on a different phone. Okay. I've been an Apple person. Everything I'm looking at, well, that's just an HP, or a Dell, but I use a lot of Apple. So when I have to use an Android, I'm like, what? All right, hold on. Here we go. So this is your connection. Let's get into it. So when you are becoming more insulin sensitive, and your whole goal is to go from insulin resistant to insulin sensitive, and it's a journey and it's a healing journey because you are now turning back a system. Think about it kind of like a little bit of a ship inside of you that you're turning. And some people's ship is going to take a little longer than others. And you're just going to have to learn how to have, you're going to have to learn how to block out the noise of a lot of stuff around you, but you're also going to have to learn how to have some grace for yourself. And that's kind of where I come in. And in fact, I still have some of the keychains that are left for orders, just to let you guys know, because for orders today, I can still send. I've still got some left. So you are never alone, and you are kind, and you are awesome, and you are worthy. You need to know that this healing journey, you can have a friend that can help you go through some of this with you. But the becoming more insulin sensitive can potentially bring on hot flashes. And this can happen due to the following reasons. I'm so good, Anna. Good to see you. Good to see you. Number one, hormonal changes. Improving insulin sensitivity often involves changes in diet, exercise, and overall lifestyle, which can influence hormone levels. Since hormones like estrogen and progesterone are closely linked in both insulin sensitivity and the regulation of body temperature, shifts in these hormones can trigger hot flashes. So don't let it scare you. Don't let it worry you. Don't let it because you're like, I don't want that. But we're going towards balance, right? We're going towards a marker that we actually want, because when you can bring your insulin and your sugars down, you can finally lose weight. Okay. And then number 2, blood sugar fluctuations. As insulin sensitivity improves, because I'm like, yes, good for you. I know this kind of stinks, but yay, and keep going. And as insulin sensitivity improves, blood sugar levels may stabilize or drop more quickly after meals. Rapid changes in blood sugar levels can affect the autonomic nervous system, which controls body temperature regulation, possibly leading to hot flashes. Okay, so that's number 2. Sue says she can relate to this topic. balloons on Instagram. Yay. I've been having more hot flashes since I began your carnivore diet 2 months ago, as you're trying to turn around your insulin resistance and your type 2 insulin dependent person for 30 years. Wow, Sue, that's phenomenal. Finally getting my act together and taking my health seriously. Yes. You're literally taking back your future. You're literally like investing into your future memories that you're going to get to have. I love this. The gut flush are killing me. What can I do? The gut flush. Tell me more about what you're meaning by that, because I'm not positive what you mean by that. Okay. Number 3, physical stress. Increased physical activity, a common approach to improving insulin sensitivity, can raise body temperature and trigger hot flashes. Additionally, the stress of adapting to a new diet or exercise routine can also contribute to the onset of hot flashes. So physical stress, and that actually does go with like when you're perimenopausal or menopausal, your exercise, it's probably going to be different than when you were in your 30s and in your 20s, just in general, because now building muscle mass and having, strength training, more toning your muscles and stuff is way more important, because you don't actually want to be raising your cortisol all the time, depending upon what you do. So I wouldn't be like, anyway, just that's another component with cortisol. Hold on just a second. And the last one is Android. Here we go. Metabolic adjustment. So this one is really cool. As the body becomes more efficient at using insulin, because this is what we're talking about, right? We're talking about becoming more insulin sensitive. As it becomes more efficient using insulin, so get your hopes up, Sue, there might be a period of metabolic adjustment. During this time, the body's systems, including those regulating temperature, might react unpredictably, causing hot flashes. So those are the 4 things. Those are the 4 things that could be causing something like that. And it's all a hormonal conversation, but that should be like the best news ever. Because even though I know hormones can be really like, there's a lot of layers to know, right? And I'm certainly not a hormonal expert in that arena at all. But I just like when I started to find out that there was a hormone component, instead of just feeling like I was crazy all the time or feeling like I wasn't getting the answers that I was looking for myself, because nobody was talking to me through the lens of hormones. And I felt like, finally, I was able to give myself permission. How do I say this? To stop listening to so much noise and to start really being patient with myself and becoming more like in tune with my own body and in tune with my own routines, habits, triggers. Do y'all have like different food triggers, stuff like that? I mean, assessing myself was like my greatest gift. Being able to actually pause and say, why is something making me feel a certain way emotionally, or, something like that? And because you have to be patient and you have to be quiet enough inside of yourself in order to actually figure out maybe some of the things that you can take, different steps that you can take towards your own, journey of losing weight. Because the frustration about being overweight and being on a hamster wheel and coming at it from every other direction other than like hormonal, when you're insulin resistant, that is a really frustrating hamster wheel. Does anybody know what I'm talking about with that? Like you just feel like I just go round and round and round, and it's just so darn frustrating. I mean, it's just honestly, it's just so frustrating. So anyway, you're it's the pseudo medical Gestapo. I should probably not say that word. Finding ways to quiet these truths. Keep educating. Yes, yes, yes. You're having salad and chicken or salmon for dinner. In the morning, sometimes your blood sugar is 105. And that's because it's called dawn phenomenon. And that is when you haven't eaten and your blood sugars are still high in the morning. And so a lot of you're down 65 pounds, way to go. Dr. Eric Berg would be a really good resource. And he has basically talked a lot about Dawn phenomenon. It can take up to a year to get those sugars to balance out by doing the things that you need to be doing, and so I teach two things. I only teach two things. I teach targeted supplementation. It's where I started. And I teach food ingredient trade out because that's what I ended up having to do as an Italian girl. So I do have a Facebook group. I don't want to forget to mention that. Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. I have another challenge starting this Monday, June 3rd. Okay. And I will go through ingredient trade outs and take you into my pantry, etc. And I will talk to you about targeted supplementation so that you can understand, because that's where all of my testimonies come from. So somebody who has morning sugars, and I tell this testimony it's just the one that comes to me because she actually didn't know she was type 2 until she had a stroke, and her A1C was like a 13, really high. And for 3 years, she worked with the medical community, with medicine, and a couple of supplements that are just different than what I have, different ingredients. And she could not budge a pound. But then when she started the trio last September, now those are the 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients, and they help with insulin sensitivity. In 2.5 months, her morning sugars went down from the 180s to the 150s, and then she lost 14 pounds. So you can push that, you can budget, and you can make a difference. I'm just telling you, like, those are the testimonies. Of course, I never make any claims. And if you are on Instagram, you guys have a highlight bubble at the very top, and it's pink. And you can just look through the testimonies for yourself, because you don't have to listen to me. Like, don't take my word for anything, right? Look at the testimonies, and then you'll find out for yourself. And most of them are actually from like about January. I always tell that because they're fresh. I just want people to know they're fresh. And I keep trying to put the new ones in there. But anyway, so that Dawn phenomenon, it can be a stinker, right? And it's like, again, this is where the grace comes in. This is where I talk a lot about having in the group, when I'm going through, like, we do a challenge every month at the beginning of the month, so that you can have victory over the month that you're in. Then the next month, we'll do the same thing. We'll do another challenge to encourage your heart to keep you going, and you can have victory in that month. And what do you think happens when you add month to month to month, right? You actually gain a lot of confidence and hope, and you start to feel better. And in the meantime, you're practicing on yourself. You're practicing what's going on in your head with your self-talk, and you're practicing having grace for yourself, and you're practicing patience in your healing journey. Like, this is a thought process, right? We're not talking quick fixes. We don't talk magic potions. We don't talk, we don't make claims that, whatever. We don't blow smoke. We don't do any of that. We allow people to have their journeys, and then we take the testimonies and we encourage each other. That's what we do. So Sue, you're so sweet, Sue. She says, thank you, Kirsten, for taking this platform of helping women take control of their health journey. Bless you. I learned something every time I listen to your teachings. Sue, you're awesome. Yeah, that is an awesome testimony. And yes, it doesn't happen overnight. Just keep being consistent. Yes, yes, yes. And Deshaun, you are down 65 pounds. That is amazing. And you're working on your blood sugars, but the hot flashes are killing you. I see what you're saying. You know what? Okay. So Deshaun, if you want to reach out to me, I actually do have 2 things that I could think of off the top of my head. I have an adaptogenic herb blend that I used for myself. And adaptogenic herbs help your body adapt to stress. And that is they basically support your adrenals, which regulate your hormones. So if you'll do that, I can tell you about that. Or I actually do have a blend that's specifically for menopause. And maybe temporarily you need to use something like that to, like, simmer down. Because I know those can be really, you want the magic potion. Julie K, I know. And you know what? I wanted it so much that I know that this, you always hear that, there is no magic pill and whatever. And if there was a magic pill, everybody would be taking it. And you hear all these things, right? And yet in my 40s, when my mother wouldn't leave me alone about my sugars, what did I do? I started with supplements, never being a supplement taker before. Like I took ibuprofen and a banned weight loss med. Like that was my idea of supplementation. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh yeah, I'll totally get into supplements because I wanted the magic pill too. But then what I actually found out was, oh my stars, like, alas, when you fill in certain like nutritional deficiencies or you give your body some raw materials to work with, it actually can help. It's like, okay, that was actually really good news because I was doing it literally as a path of least resistance. I'm like, yeah, I'm Italian and I don't think I'll be fixing my food anytime soon. That was my thought process. So when I did start to switch out my foods and I did start to, good, Deshaun, I look forward to hearing from you. You can just message me in Messenger. When I did start to trade out my ingredients, I was pleasantly surprised to find out that it wasn't so mountainous as I thought. Working through my mindset, my negative thoughts, having grace on myself, doing things without shame, that was the harder piece. But that's what I can walk you through, right? I can walk you through because I know the signs, I know the feelings. I know also that you can completely overcome your mindset. And I do oftentimes, excuse me, I recommend this book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. And it's an old book and his name is Shad Helmstetter. What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. It's like $10 on Amazon. Go get that so that you can begin to change the way you're talking to yourself. Because a lot of the things that have been told to you as a child that roll around in your brain all the time, the tracks that they just keep on playing, even though you don't want them to play, you can shift your tracks. And not only can you, but you have to, because otherwise you'll stay in a cycle because what you think about, you bring about. So you have to change your mindset. If we can consistently eat bad food year after year after year, why can't we consistently try something new to heal our bodies? Sue, you're like a girl after my own heart, and I'm not even kidding you. That was my revelation. That's my mindset. I just have to stick with this. Give it a year, and I know my health will improve, and it will come off of 90% and will come off of, you're saying for yourself, you will come off of 99% of all of your meds that you're on. You just know it in your spirit. Sue, don't ever, like, you need to screenshot that and put that in your notes, put that in your own folder on your phone, and remember the belief that you have in your heart right now about that, because I'm telling you, absolutely, you can do that. There's no question in my mind. I can believe for you when you don't believe. But that's amazing. That is amazing. But Magic Potion made me laugh. I know. I know. We all want a magic potion. We do. So I hope that really did encourage somebody today. Please do not forget there is a Facebook group called Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. And it's my 1-year anniversary this June since I started the group. I think there's like 3,600 girls in there, 3,600 of us girls. And I'll start a challenge next Monday, June 3rd at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I will go live every day. For this time, it's going to be 4 days. Most months, it's been 5 days. And we're just going to do some ingredient trade outs and encourage each other. And I'll take you to my pantry and my fridge, etc. I want to give you tangible things that you can use. And if you need to know anything, you've been in the group since I started it on Facebook, Melissa. Yay! So you're like an inaugural member. I love that so much. I love that. Yeah. And Sue says, no one will come to your rescue. You are responsible for your health journey, not your doctors. We are what we eat. Sue, you are so right. You are so right. She says, yes. I'm so glad, Melissa. I'm so glad you've been around for the full year. Isn't that fun that you can like be a part of a community? We so need community, you guys. We so do. And if anybody, I don't think I said anything today that will flag me on TT. So we'll find out. I'll have to go and see if I have any flags on there. But I consider that a victory and a win. If you need to know anything about the targeted supplements, please reach out to me. Messenger, IG, DM me. If you go to my page on TT, there's a couple of ways you can contact me. I'll just say it that way because you know what? TikTok's just different. So you guys have a super blessed day. I'm so glad that you guys jump on and join me. It's so much fun. And just know that I still, even for orders that go through today, I still have more keychains that are really amazing. And you can always tell me your favorite color because I do have some, but they are very, very encouraging. And they are very, yeah, you just need to know. You need to know good things about yourself and you need to speak good things about yourself. You're never alone. You're chosen. You are you. You are kind. You are enough. You are beautiful. And I think I've got other ones. I think some of them I've ran out. So we'll find out. Anyway. All right. Be blessed. See you guys later. Have an amazing weekend. Don't miss out on having an amazing weekend. You too, Sue. I think I have to do this time. I'm trying to figure out on TikTok how to, oh, there we go. All right. Have a good day, you guys.